Okay. All right, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of OOOH Cast. I'm your host, Thinh.
And I'm your host and your best friend, Alan.
Welcome back to another episode of a podcast where, two dumb fucks talk about anything they want and whatever they want, And it's been a long fucking time since we made a last episode. Oh, man.
It really has been.
And so much has changed since then, too.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of life has happened to us in that time.
It has. Oh, my God. Where can we begin first, Like, I guess one main thing, right before the previous podcast, it was something I really couldn't talk about. But I've been planning for a while, and I'm finally engaged to Tiffany.
Yay.
Yay. Ooh. Oh my God. For so long.
We were already aware of it. We were thinking about it, and then we were just like, we can't talk about it.
Yeah, it was very conscious effort for us not to talk about it, but we knew it was in the works for a while now.
And that was a whole, month and a half ago almost.
Yeah. A whole month and a half. It took a lot of preparation because I had this plan since almost the beginning of the year, but since COVID happened, I had to delay the plans even further back, and it finally happened on September 5th.
So what was the plan for those who weren't there?
So the plan for the proposal so far, it all started with a trip to New York. We were in the car discussing the idea, and what I did for her was I was able to convince her to go on a hike, to the Poconos. For some time, she's been talking about going to hike Mount Tammany. Her coworker suggested it, so it never came from me. So I thought it'd be nice for me to propose to her at the top of the mountain. How do I get there? How do I get her to do that? Months ahead of time, I would kind of plan the perfect spot. Me and Alan actually and Mike would go up. We scouted the area to see where I wanted to propose for her. Then, the week before, we planned me and Tiffany planned a day to go to hike Mount Tammany. I had a whole elaborate plan the day before the hiking trip. I had my coworker call me to tell me that we had a mandatory in-service education for work, and Tiffany was in the car to hear it on the Bluetooth speaker, so she was hearing the whole conversation about that.
So you talk to your coworker and were can you call me at this time and say
yes
this line?
Yes, I gave her a whole script, and we went by the script word line by line by line. It went perfectly. And Tiffany, after the phone call, Tiffany, that she heard it all, she was, not want to say flipping out, but she was pretty upset that I couldn't make it to our hiking trip. And lo and behold, I told her to just go without me. I'll just, just enjoy the day, just hike the hike, just because everyone else can make it. So we had our group of friends take her to the top, and the whole time, apparently on the way up there, she was just complaining about how work took me away from that trip, and she was upset that I had to go to work rather than hike the day with her. Lo and behold, she got to the top, and that's where I surprised her.
I feel like there were so many hints, and I don't know if she picked up on any of it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, Tom and Becky are going hiking? That's weird. Oh, well.
Yeah, she's so oblivious to it.
People who usually never go hiking are coming? Okay.
Right?
Alan, why'd you bring your GoPro? Why are you recording this? I don't know. Just want to.
Oh, that just flew over her head. I can't believe it. I felt like she knew I was planning something, but she didn't know what I was playing.
She's like, oh, Sabrina, you brought your camera? Why? No, I don't know. No reason.
Dude, one time she came over to my house. I had all the tabs open on my computers. She sat down on the computer. I was like, oh shit. I was like, Timmy, close your eyes. Look away real quick. I was like, what? I had to close all the tabs because I had all Mount Tammany opened up. I had a whole document of the whole plan, elaborate, opened up. I was like, oh shit, dude.
Proposal plan.
Yeah,
doc X.
Pretty much. Surprisingly, she didn't see it and I gladly, luckily I got away. Maybe she just put on an act this whole time.
Yeah.
She just like, oh, I've been new. I just wanted him to. Then I don't want to ruin the magic of it, you know. But it all worked out perfectly. She was super surprised. Um, I have photos of the proposal on Instagram, just a particular moment, and yeah, oh my god.
She said she didn't know up until the very last moment where you like appeared.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way. I was like, you're lying.
She knew I was planning something, but she
Okay.
just didn't know what. And once she saw me like emerging from the rock, she was like,
Oh
"I
shit.
thought you were supposed to be at work." Oh,
Oh yeah.
shit. That was funny. But yeah, I actually hiked that to the top like 2 hours. I got there 2 hours before they did, and I was just waiting there for 2 hours for her to reach the top. I was just chilling up there, which is pretty cool. I had like my own. I had my Bluetooth headset, just listening to podcasts and shit while I was waiting up there to pass the time, and it all paid off really well. I'm happy.
Feels like it's been a long time coming, huh?
Yeah, it has been. I've been waiting for it. I mean, I already knew that I was gonna propose to her. It's just a matter of like financials and like getting some like getting a job.
Yeah, and then COVID hit,
Yeah,
threw all our plans into disarray.
yeah, right. Pushing that shit back like how many months? Like 6 months. Yeah. Oh my god, 6 7 months.
Because this was supposed to be back in April, right? You were planning for April.
April, dude. April all the way back to September.
And that was
That
like
was 5
right
months
when
ago. Yeah.
quarantine, like people started taking quarantine seriously. And March it was like, and then April everyone was like, oh okay, this might like drag on longer than we thought.
Yeah, it might go out through a summer or something. So I had to postpone the plans, and I felt horrible too because initially, my initial plan was I got a huge house. I invited like probably 50, like 60 people to come. Like I had a huge party planned out afterwards. Um, and since COVID's happening, you can't have that many people within a
Right.
household. So I had to I had to postpone it to see whether or not if I could still host the same party size with at the same place, and just going through it the year, I just realized I couldn't do it. So I'd rather have it done and just have it with a smaller group of people, a safer group of people. That way, I don't want to put my whole life on hold for too long. I tried my best to wait as long as I could, but I just don't see it anywhere coming close in sight. So I thought I'd have it with just close family and friends,
Yeah,
very close families and friends.
I understand though, because it was like you do feel bad because like everyone like took off work or like changed their schedule and like tried to be there for you, and then you're like, sorry.
Yeah, dude.
COVID.
I felt really bad. I felt like I was really screwing over a lot of people because of that. I
I
was
mean,
like,
I think
shit.
they get it though. We had to be smart, and even though we were like careful and smart, COVID's still a problem.
It's still happening, though.
Mm.
I don't know. Yeah, I just did. I did the best. What I thought the best thing was to do at the time.
Yeah, makes sense. What else have you been up to since then?
Since then, I started up on school again, man.
To finish your bachelor's?
Yeah, to finish my bachelor's. I was kind of putting it off for a while, but now I'm finally finding some recent motivation to get back into school again. But yeah, I mean, it's just pretty recent too. I actually started in September or September. So then I'll be working towards my second bachelor's degree. It sucks. I really don't miss it at all. I felt like the first week I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do this, and then I just kind of lost motivation like one month in. I'm like,
Yeah.
ugh.
I mean, that's a big part of why the episode is like so late. We were just busy,
Yeah,
Like school started for you, and then you were planning the proposal, and yeah. And then the last month I did like a ton of traveling.
yeah. It's just life got in the way, you know. But you know, we actually find time to make an episode now. Oh, and I think we should also mark that it's been 1 year since we started this, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, 1 year, bro.
1 year, and we only did 20 episodes in 1 year.
Pretty much. Shit, man. I'm proud of us.
Actually, that seems about right because if we did one once a week, it would be like 50 episodes ish, and then if we did like every other, it would be like 20 something. We're like 20 something. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
seems about
pretty
right.
much. 27 episodes. But I'm still happy that we held on for a year,
Yeah.
which is nice.
I just like that it's something that we've like stuck to.
Like, we never given up on it, you know. Like, even though like some episodes were like delayed, but we still didn't like can it. Like, oh yeah, we never like felt like it was something that we like didn't want to do anymore.
Yeah.
you
It
know?
never felt like a chore.
Yeah.
1 whole year. That's crazy.
Let's go for year 2, baby.
It's going to be really nice to watch this in like 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Like, looking back and like, oh my god, look at how much we've changed. We were such at different parts of our lives
Mm-hmm.
when we first started this, and now we're like, you see us progressing through our lives. And
Yeah,
like,
definitely. Because if I even just go back like 4 or 5 episodes, I wasn't even in a relationship. I didn't have a girlfriend back then.
Right. It's like each episode is like a bookmark of our lives in a way.
Yeah.
If you think about that like that. Like, each episode is like some things are happening and we will talk about it.
Yeah.
And then we'll
Dude,
catch
there was
up
an
on it.
episode from January where it was just like you were like, yeah, you'll find someone, you will, and then like 2 months later, I was like, oh, I have a girlfriend now.
The boom, there you go.
Life comes at you fast, I think.
Yeah. Comes at you fast, comes at you hard, unexpectedly, you know. But that's the nice things. That's the nice things about life.
We were supposed to record earlier in the week, like Tuesday or something,
Yeah.
and today's Saturday, but
I
I
think
found a way.
yeah, dude. She just hit the fan again. Like, I think I was scheduled for us to record like earlier in the day, but I had work the previous night.
Mm-hmm.
I just slept in throughout the whole day and woke up late.
You know what actually bothered me though? It was like, I get that you had work. That I totally understood. I was like, oh, he's sleeping. I'm not like, that's fine. And then the next day though, it was like, oh, we're gonna go to IKEA, and then afterwards we're gonna record. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. And then I was like, when are you guys gonna go?
Yeah.
You guys said 12 to 1. I was like, oh great, they'll be probably done by 3 or 4. And then at like 4 o'clock, you're like, okay, we're going to IKEA now. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right. Yeah, we kind of slept in on that day too. We slept in a lot.
I was like, screw you guys. And then
That was
you're like, are you still down? I was like,
That
no.
was my bad on my part. Yeah, that was bad on my part.
It just made me feel like the reason it bothered me so much was because patients do that to me all the time. They're like, okay, let's pick this time, this day. And I'm like, okay, yeah, great. And then the day of, they're like, they don't answer me. They don't like,
Oh,
and
they
then-
just kind
or-
of ghost you?
Yeah, or like I text them like, hey, are you still available for the session? And they're like, no. I'm like, what the fuck? You chose this time. Why
Right.
are you flaking on me? You're stupid.
Yeah, because then you also like kind of tell everyone else that you're busy at that time, but then it doesn't go down when you could have done when that time slot
Right.
could have been used for something else.
Right. And then it makes me feel like they're not being considerate of my time,
Yeah,
It's like, I'm not just going to sit around for you,
yeah. My bad. But it's my fault too. I slept in late.
Well, we're here now.
We're here now, and so much has fucking happened. Chadwick Boseman passed away.
Damn, it's crazy. So young.
Very young. Did he ever make or get enough like recording? Was he even in a process of making like Black Panther 2 at all?
I'm not sure.
Or was that even in the works?
I think they do that sort of thing like way ahead of time. Like 2 years before a movie's released, they're like in pre-production, or like they're in uh like they edit the movie for like a year or something. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a long process. So it could be, but I don't think so.
That's crazy. But like, it's crazy that no one ever found out that he had cancer.
That's what I mean. Like it's such a like his friends and family knew, and that's like it's a testament to them
Yeah.
how um like what's the word? I don't know, honorable or whatever I don't know. What's the word?
Um.
Like they just had his back, you know? And
Yeah. Like
they like
loyalty.
yeah.
Like loyalty to his name. You know. Like they never. He trusted him with his utmost secret, and they kept
They
their
kept the
word.
secret.
Yeah, they kept the word. They kept their secret. He kept the secret. Those are homies for life.
And so he was battling cancer for 4 years, they said. So while he was filming like Black Panther and all the movies of that like last 2 years or so, he had cancer the whole time. He was going
Jeez.
through chemo the whole time.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah. He was Jack too in that movie.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? Oh my god, he was built. He was built. He was cut. Oh my god, and he was taking chemo and acting. This guy was, I don't know. I guess he's like the epitome of like not what's okay. Epitome of like doing things the most out of his life and like for other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've heard he like goes like what's it called? Make a Wish foundations to go visit kids who are also sick or like
Of course he would.
and he's just pretty much like a walking someone who leads by example,
Right.
a role model.
Like he was his character. He was like
Exactly.
Black Panther.
Bombay, dude. Wakanda forever, man. What a hero, through and through. So, any updates with you, man, since we last recorded?
I don't know. I just like went traveling a lot. Like after the proposal, I went to Virginia with Sabrina,
Nice.
and we just stayed there for like 4 days or 5 days or something like that. It was really nice. We were just we went hiking a little bit, but most of the time we were just like hang out, cook, enjoyed like the view. It was such like a beautiful like Airbnb. It was all the way up in this like secluded area, and I guess like the owner just owns that huge plot of land, and there's like their house and the Airbnb house. What was really nice was that the bedroom was like a separate house, so you had to like walk outside and walk to the bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like freezing cold that night, and we're stupid because there was a heater in there, and we just like never thought to like turn it on until we got in there. We're like, we should just turn it on like an hour before so that we're not freezing cold in the night. It was really nice. It was really dark at night because there's like no like light pollution, no civilization for like miles around. It was just
Oof, yeah.
darkness. Really beautiful. You can see like every star. And then I went to
Wait, that was at Shenandoah, right? You guys
it was
went
like close to Shenandoah, about like it was still a drive, like an hour drive there.
to?
It was in Star Tannery or something. Oh, speaking of Virginia, we wanted to get groceries, and we went to this like we just like Googled like grocery or groceries mart or whatever, and this one store came up. So we're like, okay, let's just go grab like we needed bread and eggs. We show up and it looks like it had that like corner store feel. It wasn't a grocery store. It had like those fridges, you know, like the big fridges with those big doors that like you can see everything inside.
Mm-hmm.
So we get inside, and I'm like looking around for what we need, like bread, eggs, and like dish soap or whatever. And the lady looks at me. She's like, "Oh, welcome. Are you hungry? Do you want like a cheesesteak or a hamburger or something?" I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm actually looking for groceries. It doesn't seem like you guys have any." She's like, "No, no, no, no. What do you need?" I was like, "Oh, I need bread, eggs." dish soap. Okay. And then we walk over to the fridges, and there's a freaking like one carton of eggs and one loaf of bread in the fridge,
Oh shit!
and there's
What?
like drinks on the other side, and I was like, okay, that's weird. Just grabbed it, and then um over by the shelves there's like a bunch of like soaps. So I was like looking around, rummaging, like she's like, oh, what do you need? Dish soap? Okay, let me check the back. And she goes back, and I think she like goes into the kitchen or the bathroom or something. She pulls out a bottle and she's like, oh, good thing I found this one. Here you go. And I'm like, wait, like, is that yours? Like, I don't want to take yours if that's yours, you know? I don't want to like just take your dish soap. She's like, no, it's fine. You can have it. And I was like,
What?
oh, okay, thank you. It was so
Whoa.
strange. The whole encounter.
Was it already like opened and used already?
Yeah, but I guess it was theirs, and I was like,
Oh shit.
okay, thank you.
For real. Damn. Okay.
And then
Virginia got some nice people, yo. Some generous
she
people.
just gave me her dish soap,
Yeah, you know, I don't need this anymore.
and she was like, yeah, I think we have another one. It's fine. And I was like, okay. And then when we went to pay, like I handed her my card, and my card design is like the galaxy or whatever. It's just like a swirling galaxy in the front. I handed it to her, and she's like, "Oh, that's really cool. What is that? Like a hurricane?" And I'm like, "No." And then she's like, "Is it like the afterlife?" I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Oh man.
And then she was just talking and talking. And she's like, "This is my daughter, blah 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 blah, and it's so hot in here, blah blah. We gotta get a fan." And she was just like going a mile a minute, and I was just
Right.
like trying to like swipe my card, and I'm like, okay, thank you, sign this shit and like leave. And she was talking, and it was so strange that whole encounter.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, have a nice day. Crazy lady.
I get the feeling that they probably don't get a lot of customers.
Yeah,
or
she was
something.
probably super bored.
Yeah. Very either really bored, and maybe she's maybe doesn't get that much of her social life or something, or you know.
I think it was because that market was pretty out of the way. It was just like not that many people around.
It was a lot, not a lot of traffic going by there either. I'm
I don't think
assuming.
so. So yeah, I think she was just really bored.
I can see. Yeah, once you like, I guess if you feel like you're socially isolated for a while, when the first person that comes to the door, like, oh my god, she's probably there. She's probably just having that shop just to have people to talk to.
Yeah.
Honestly,
She's like, don't leave. Here, have my dish soap.
don't leave. I gave you dish up. Just stay and talk to me for like 5 minutes, please.
Her daughter was like sitting in the back. She's just like looking at her like, here, shut up.
Like, stop, Mom. You're
Yeah,
embarrassing me.
Exactly.
Dang. Maybe it was like a really rural part of Virginia that you're in.
Yeah.
I wonder.
We did end up going to Shenandoah. That was really nice.
Was it as good as the first time?
Well, no, because we didn't camp. We just like visited, hiked that day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Was it still as beautiful as ever?
Yeah.
It was in the middle of fall too, right? Was all the leaves changing colors?
It was actually they were like starting to change because it was like around September time. So it wasn't like fully like orange and red and yellow yet. It was just starting to. Yeah, and then after Virginia, I went to California for like a week. That was really nice. Just like to see my family.
Yeah, you go like what? Like once? Is it like almost like once every year? or
Almost once a year.
At least once every other year.
Right. Just because like I really like don't spend that much time with them. I don't talk to them any other time. Like I don't talk to them online or anything. So it's just like good to get out there and just see them.
That's actually very nice.
Yeah. We have been getting a little bit better. We have been like playing more games together because everyone's into Among Us now and Phasmophobia and like Fall Guys and stuff like that. We're just like trying to play more Jackbox, trying to play more games online together, which is nice.
It actually helps. I mean, we're not in quarantine anymore, but it actually helps because now that people aren't going out as much as they usually do, so playing games is actually very nice. But like even so, just flying over to California just to visit family is actually very nice in itself because it's kind of like a vacation that you almost like not guaranteed, but you can always look forward to at every year.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
it's like a staple activity for your family and even possibly their family to do too. Because I know they come over here sometimes as well, right?
Yeah.
But I think you guys more so go over there.
Mm-hmm.
But besides the point, it's like it's nice because like it's like once a year you get to look forward to something.
Yeah.
You know, to see family members that you don't get to see for
And
the
now that
whole
they're
year.
getting older, like my cousins are getting a little bit older, we have more in common to talk about. We have more like we can go out together more.
Mm-hmm.
Because before, when they were teenagers, it was just like, and we were adults, we were like, dang, I just want to like just go out, and we can't though. We have to stay with
Right.
these teenagers. But now it's like they're all older. It's like, wow, you guys want to get some weed? Yeah, hell yeah.
You guys are doing more adult things together now.
Yeah.
The options are more available.
Stay out late. You know,
Mm-hmm.
everyone can drive now.
It's crazy. It's like you guys are both like growing on different like opposite ends of the United States.
Yeah, and I feel like we just have more to talk about now. You can
Mm.
have like a more like deep conversation or a more like like thoughtful conversation.
Mm-hmm. Especially when it comes with age too. You know,
Yeah.
when like the more you grow, the more you experience, the more
Exactly.
you guys have to talk about. You know,
Exactly.
so it all ties in together. That's very nice.
I feel like, so I have older cousins in California, and we went through the same thing with them. It was except we were the younger cousins, so we were catching
Right.
up to them. And now that when we got older, we could go out with them and talk to them more and like relate to them more. And then now the younger cousins are catching up to us, and it's like, all right, now we're all
Now
can
you
hang
pass
out.
on the the experience with
Yeah.
them now. And then soon later, once they, I'm sure they'll all become 21 soon. They all age groups will kind of come together and be like, oh yeah, college, jobs, whatever,
Yeah, just like life
nightlife,
things.
weddings, and all that good stuff. It's all just like kind of catching up and having more relation to each other. That's
No, yeah,
nice.
California was fun. We went on a Duffy boat. So basically, it's just like a little dinghy where you can just like drive it.
Right, like a
Um,
speedboat kind of thing.
Yeah, but it didn't go that fast. Apparently anyone can rent it. Like if you're over, you just have to be 25 and older, I think.
Wow, that's pretty laxed. 25, and now you can just without even like a driving
Yeah,
license.
you don't need a
permit or
boating license. It's just like they do that thing where when you're in a car, they like walk you around it. Like there's a scratch here, there's a scratch here. You know, like
Right.
just to make sure, like, or to let you know that it was already there and you didn't cause it. And then they just, okay, here you go. Be back in 90 minutes. You're like, oh, cool.
See ya. Peace. I saw a video of you climbing back into the fucking thing too.
That was a mistake. The water was freezing cold, ice cold.
Oh yeah.
As soon as I jumped in, I was like, this is nice for like a millisecond. And then all of a sudden, there's like, the cold just catches up to you. You're like,
Ooh.
and I was like, okay, let me in.
Oh
Fuck
god.
this.
I saw it was a bit of a struggle for you to get back inside too.
It was so slippery.
I was like, somebody help!
Freaking cold. Plus, it
Oh,
was
man.
cold, and then you're like, your body just kind of like stiffens up, and you're
Right.
like, trying to move. You're like, oh no.
Start shivering
Yeah.
and like, oh, this doesn't help on my case. Was that like clear? Was the water clear at all?
I think it was like okay. It was like river water.
Mm.
It was a nice day though.
It did look pretty sunny.
And then after California, we went to New York, which was great.
Right. We had the lake house in New York.
Mm-hmm.
There's just the four of us. That was very nice. It was very relaxing.
Yeah, we didn't do
time.
much.
We didn't do much. I was like totally okay with it. Like
Nice little getaway.
exactly. Like I was just kind of sitting back, kicking my feet up, just relaxing.
We like cooked breakfast one morning. That was fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's like whatever you do, you do the same shit at home. You could do the same shit at home, but you're doing it somewhere else. It just makes it so much better for some
Right.
reason. I don't know why. I
Like,
don't know
lay
why.
on the couch, watch movies, and cook breakfast. It's like, wait, we could do this at home, but this is way nicer.
Exactly. Maybe it's a change of scenery or something.
For sure.
Maybe that's just kind of gets like it kind of just makes the experience so much better.
change of pace.
Yeah, and you're not really thinking too much about like whatever is going on at home.
Right. We don't have to worry about like real life.
Exactly. You just go, cook, eat, sit, watch whatever, and then we have a nice view of a lake outside our windows, which is really nice. It's just the stupidest thing. I don't understand. Something about it. Yo, dude, you hear the news today?
What about the election?
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Today,
As of recording, we've Nevada and Georgia officially like done counting their votes. Joe Biden won.
I thought it was Pennsylvania that finished counting the votes.
Pennsylvania also finished today.
Yeah.
I think maybe last night or either last night or today.
Whew.
Like early this morning.
Whew. Oh man. Yo, we got Biden in the house now, dude.
Dude, I've never felt more anxiety about any election in my entire life besides this one.
Besides this one, dude. This was the one. Like, people were on their fucking toes.
Yeah.
I was stressing out the very first night because fucking Trump had all the leads. Well, not most of the leads on the swing states. I was like, oh my god. Please, not 4 more years of this shit, please.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's a really hot topic right now.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, dude. It's not just us. Like, Philly had a big part in Pennsylvania turning blue. All right, so here's what happened. I was freaking out because Pennsylvania. I remember the first night I was just talking to Shijin. Like, we're looking at Pennsylvania and we're like, Trump has 700,000 votes over Biden in Pennsylvania. I think it's GG. But it was like only 20% or 30% reporting at that time.
Right.
But that's only because all the ballots that were voted at the polls on that day were counted first.
Yep.
And that's all the like Republican like ballots that were
for some reason or another, more Democrats voted via mail-in ballot, and like those were counted a lot later than polling day votes.
Those get counted after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually older people and Republican who vote in person for some reason, for whatever reason, and those were counted first. So there was like a red. It was called the red mirage. You know, the whole country starts turning red, and then once you start counting the mail-in ballots, it's like, boop, 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 you know. But PA has always, for the most part, like, I feel like it leans more red than blue. It is a swing state, but for the most part, like 9 times out of 10, it's like it goes red. But luckily, everyone came out of the fucking woodwork and was like, no more of this goddamn
yeah, dude.
creamsicle motherfucker.
Fucking orange sherbet motherfucker.
Yeah.
And like, it's, oh my god, it's nice to know that we did a difference. We made a difference in this, you know? And we're a part of it. We're a part of history. Like, I don't know how to put it. I'm just fucking relieved that that fucking Biden won, dude. I couldn't like, you can't put into words like how much we're looking to see like that we're gonna become unified again as a country. It was so polarized, this nation, like 50-50. And what I'm very appalled about is how many voters there were for Trump too.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
If you voted for Trump, peace out. Don't call me. Don't talk to me.
It is astonishing to see how many people could support a person regardless of moral values. You know, I mean, like, even putting moral values on top of even on policy.
Yeah, because if you voted for Trump, you voted for a person who doesn't care about like people that are near and dear to me. You know, like I have a lot of friends who are LGBT. I have a lot of friends who are African American. I have a lot of friends who are Mexican. You know, I have a lot of friends who are Chinese, and he was racist towards everyone, all of them, and like bigoted towards all of them. So it's like, can't support a guy like that.
No,
regardless of whatever his policies are. Like, even if he's a great like businessman or economist, which he's not, I can't overlook that. You know?
Yeah, I totally understand. It's like, how do you support a person like that? Like, that's so backwards.
You
It's
support that person because you also believe in those things.
right.
Yeah.
I know some people don't agree with how his personality or his views are, but they only agree with like how his policies are, which I feel like everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but like your opinion could be fucking like very very bad. Like you need
I
to
think
rethink yourself for a second.
the idea that he's a businessman really sells him to a lot of people. They're like, oh,
Yeah,
he's a businessman, so he must be good at like
negotiating.
doing these sort of things. But just because you're good at running a business, which he's not, because if you guys remember, about 10 years ago, a bunch of Trump hotels and casinos just all closed.
Yeah, and he had like 7 failed businesses,
Yeah.
like startups, and it all failed
Right.
on him too.
That's besides the point, though. But just because you're good at negotiating doesn't make you good at running a country.
Yeah, you're not a good leader.
Because you have to think about it. If you're the president, you have to think of like, okay, I am the representative of my country, you know, and I have to be the voice for people who don't have one. You know, I'm the voice of the people, and that includes all the people, every person who lives in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not that.
No, very, very much not.
He's the voice of the
Of himself.
right.
He's so much of like self-interested.
I don't think he cares about what he actually does or what his policies at all. I think he cares what it looks like on TV, like what the public perceives it as.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and which is understandable because he was a TV personality, and that's all he cares about. He's like, how does it look? What are the optics of it?
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it's like, it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
He's like, I won the election, bigly, and you're like, did you though?
Like it wasn't even called. Like it's not even your choice to make.
He was like, I won the election by a lot,
By a lot.
tremendous, bigly.
Tremendously. And like what the biggest issue I guess right now going forward is whether or not he'll concede the White House too.
That's a scary thought
Yeah.
because that has been a tradition since the 1800s, where the losing candidate just gracefully passes. You know, like I concede because the election is not like technically over until 20 days after the election or whatever it is, and in that time they can do all these things to undermine it, like throw like a bunch of wrenches into the mix. But no one has ever done that because that's the wrong thing to do. Tradition in this country is that they will concede just gracefully, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and very like, what's the word? Like nobly, like, all right,
Pass the torch.
yeah, you know,
Mm-hmm.
being a good sport about it.
Yeah.
Like, good job, GG.
I don't expect that to happen with Trump. to be
No, no
honest.
way.
This guy's gotta be like dragged out of the fucking place, if anything.
Yeah.
You know?
If he was on Call of Duty, he'd be calling Joe Biden's mom a hoe right now.
Yeah, right. I hope that he fucked or some shit,
Yeah.
you know? Like, oh, I fucked your mom, bitch. Like, you gonna pull me out.
Good sportsmanship would be like, all right, GG Nori,
Yeah.
you win.
GG Nuri, you the better man. Handshake and be on your merry way.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you're supposed to
And
be.
then he can go back to making money on his businesses. I don't know why he needs to
Making
like-
money, more like fucking frauding money, dude.
whatever he was doing before this. I don't know why he feels the need to be like, no, I'm the president.
This guy is a fucking sore loser, man.
Yeah.
Like I have like no sympathy for this guy. This guy, we're talking about a guy who in January, maybe even December, knew along about this COVID thing, how severe it was, downplayed it, and now the American people are taking the hit of it.
Yeah. And then I just don't understand why he needs to make Dr. Fauci the scapegoat. Like,
Right.
come on.
You like, oh my
If
god.
Fauci was just like, guys, I'm just trying to help the people.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about all this political stuff. Just like we're just trying to figure it out too. And Trump's like, Dr. Fauci, it's his fault. It's all his fault. He handled COVID so poorly.
Fucking he handled it very poorly. Okay?
Fucking hate him.
Motherfucker, dude. This guy, oh my god, it boils me to no end how like this guy denies all like the fucking science only because it doesn't benefit him in any way. Well, I think since it doesn't benefit him in any way,
No,
he'll deny it.
if he had decided like early on to support Fauci and like lean into it, like, oh, COVID's really bad, I think he would have been really good. But
Yeah.
the fact that he disagreed and then COVID got worse, he's like, oh, obviously it's Fauci's fault. It's not my fault. I didn't, you know?
Right.
He's like, that's because you didn't listen to him, you dumbass.
Yeah, I remember at one point he was like, oh, so he was reading a note that Fauci like wrote out.
If COVID got better and like it lessened, he'd be like, see, I'm so smart. I listened to the experts. They told like I'm so smart.
Mm-hmm.
But then because it got worse, he was like, see, the experts were wrong. You know, they fucked up. Whatever the outcome was, he would have done the thing that made him look the best.
Right. And put the blame on someone else.
Right. China.
Kang flu.
That's fuck you. God damn it.
Fuck this guy, man. You know who I feel bad for? The fucking Secret Service that had to look after him after he leaves presidency.
So he's not going to concede, and a lot of people in the Republican Party are not going to like back him on this. And even Mike Pence advisors are saying like, if he does that, like man, nah. It's a bad look.
We can't be part of that, dude. Like,
potentially the Secret Service are gonna have to pull his ass out of the White House.
Yeah, dude, drag him by the fucking feet into the mud, on the mud of the lawn of the White House, out of the gate, dude. This is a man who just keeps like fucking. I don't know how he got into fucking office, dude.
It's because he was like, people thought like, oh, he's different. He like says what we're all thinking, but no one's like brave enough to say it.
I guess he gave power to people that were scared to say.
Yeah.
You know?
So we thought Hillary was a shoo-in, right? We all thought she was gonna win, but all the fucking racists in hiding, yeah, they were like, they finally had like an outlet. They're like, oh, if this guy says it, we can too, you know? They felt empowered, you know?
That's true. But I hope they can find like some kind of like peace within themselves or some kind of self-awareness to realize that like maybe what they're thinking is not actually the way to go, you know? But some people are innately just, I don't know, racist or some shit, homophobic.
Yeah.
Is that like a thing you can fix, or is that something that is learned or experienced or taught?
I'm not sure. I will say that no one is like unsavable, I think. I think if you just like learn or empathy and like get to know people like that you're hating, like it might open your eyes a little bit.
Have a conversation with them.
Right. I feel that way about Republicans too. Like I feel like some people are just ignorant, and then if you educate them, they're no longer ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
But some people are just nasty.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that.
There's some people who are just far right and far left, or just far right in general. Let's talk about that example. Some people are just so far right that sometimes even words can't get through them.
Mm.
But there are some people who are like center right, but are like you can actually have a conversation. It's not like oh, it's not like you this, you suck this, you're a you're a Republican, But they're actually like, yeah, I'm. They're at the table just actually discussing policy, what they think is best for the country.
Right.
And
What I find interesting though is that even if you're like a Republican and far right and like super conservative, like Trump is just objectively dumb though. Like
yeah,
even I don't know, he's just like not competent. I don't know why they rally behind him so hard. There's better Republican candidates out there. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
You can just support a different not him. He's so dumb.
I don't understand how he got that. Like, how did he beat the other Republican?
That's what I'm saying. Where the fuck did he come from?
Unless in the primaries somehow they voted him.
Yeah, I think it's because he declared that he was running, and the Republican Party saw how popular he was.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the primaries, they were like, "Holy shit, we have to make him the candidate now."
Yeah,
because people love this guy, and yeah.
Fuck, man. But like this guy like lies. I don't know because I know both sides have like I feel like both sides have their own like misinformation going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the left will have some misinformation going on about the right side, and the right side has misinformation going on about the left side. Namely, Fox News on the right side, because fucking Fox News. But I wonder how much of it is like polarized on the on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I wonder if the news that we digest is hopefully true. Like how do you know what is right and what's wrong versus what they know was right and what's wrong? Do we have our own Fox News channel on the left side?
I think there is for sure a bias.
Yeah.
But I think I won't say like the right, I'll say Fox News in general, and they have a habit of like fear mongering, and like they purposely make it seem like us versus them, like there's an enemy, we don't like them, and they're gonna like China's gonna bring the coronavirus, or like Mexicans are bringing criminals and whatever they said, versus the left I feel like does that less. There's a lot less fear mongering about like it's a lot less us versus them, in my opinion, from what I've seen. That
makes sense. Because fear mongering is very powerful.
Yeah.
If you put, I mean, I feel like it kind of worked for like the Democrat side, because we're all in fear of fucking Trump becoming president again, so that brought out a lot more voters to come out. Oh, by the way, going back to we're winding all the way back, but I feel like a lot of Arizona became a blue state as well. The biggest cities are right now in my head. I think that made the biggest change was Las Vegas, Detroit in Michigan, and Philly in Pennsylvania. And I don't know what city in Phoenix. I mean, not Phoenix. Was it Phoenix in Arizona? Was a big blue turnout?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, I don't know. Fucking save the country, dude.
It's because even Republicans are getting tired of Donald Trump's antics.
Mm-hmm.
Even Republicans are saying, this guy's an idiot, and we're done.
Mm-hmm.
Even Republicans are tired of him. So even if they don't vote for, even if they don't agree with Joe Biden, or like not Joe Biden, but like the Democratic side and the progressives and liberals, and they agree that Trump shouldn't be president anymore.
Yeah, there were definitely some I've seen some articles about like lifetime long Republicans actually like, yeah,
that's basically
I can't support this party no more.
That's pretty much what the Lincoln Project is. it's a group where like a lot of like former Republicans, like a bunch of old former Republicans, are like, okay, we're not about that anymore.
Because at some point the Republican Party became Trump's party, and it was like more like under his presidency, it was more like get in line or you're an enemy. You know.
Right? He was like the whole Comey thing. He was like, I need loyalty, and James
Yeah.
Comey was like, I'm the director of the FBI. That's literally like, like my job is to police you,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
To make sure that you don't do anything fucking stupid.
Yeah. He's like, are you? He's like, is this a joke, Mr. President? Are you for real?
And so, did he like also like audio record that conversation too, or whatever? One
I
of their
don't know.
conversations. I think a blue thing blew up. What to fucking surprised me to the point during his fucking presidency is that he was, charged with impeachment, or he was impeached.
He was impeached.
He was impeached, but he what was it William Barr found it non-conclusive or some shit.
Yeah.
His attorney general. It was very shaky, but regardless, he was impeached, but he wasn't charged with indictment or some shit. I don't know.
So basically, what an impeachment is the president version of an indictment. So an indictment is like when they like you do a crime, and then they'll send it to the grand jury, and the grand jury will decide whether or not there's enough evidence to say that you did a crime. Like the prosecutor will say, "Here's all the evidence that we have. Did he or did he? Can we not charge him with a crime?" And then the grand jury will say, "Yes or no." Yes, and then you're indicted. So the president version is like they did that whole Supreme Court thing. It was like, "Here's all the evidence. Did he or did he not do a crime?" And they were like, "Yep, he did it." So boom, he's impeached. That doesn't mean particularly much, unless like they like decide to resign, like they're like so like shamed that they resign from the presidency, or they just like, you know, like Bill Clinton, he was like, all right, I resign. Or actually, I don't know if he was resigned, but either you're resign or you get kicked out, or not, like, or the Supreme Court says, all right, it's fine. And or like something like that, you know. It's like basically the impeachment just says whether or not they did a crime, and that what happens after that is like, do they go to jail, or do they resign, or do they do nothing? And
Shit.
I think Congress was like, psh, it's fine.
What?
Because Senate loves his ass, you know.
Well, the Senate has to love him because Mitch McConnell pretty much controls the whole thing. And it was a Republican controlled Senate too, so they will like to have the Republican president in office, so they're not gonna do shit.
Yeah, and that's why he didn't leave office. He didn't get in trouble that much. It's because Senate was like, you're okay.
That's crazy, dude.
He's only like the third president ever to like
Get impeached.
or something.
Who was the other one? Nixon?
Yeah, Nixon.
Clinton?
Actually, no. Nixon, did he get impeached? I know Bill Clinton got impeached.
Clinton for sure.
Reagan, I feel like, I'm not sure, but Nixon.
I think it was Nixon, because he was also the person who
Watergate.
Yeah, he was also like one of the corrupt, like, I don't want to say corrupt, but like,
I think he was impeached.
yeah.
But he did way more shit, and he was like, he got away scot-free, I think. He had no consequences.
That motherfucker, dude. What's his name? Roger Stone had like a whole fucking tattoo of him too on his back or some shit.
Anyways. Damn. We talked about politics for like 40 minutes or something.
Yeah. Really? That was 40 minutes?
Yeah, it's 57 minutes now.
Damn, dude. I mean, this has been on a lot of people's minds, I guess. So it's a kind of hot topic. You know,
Yeah, makes sense.
And so I just feel kind of relieved. I'm kind of happy about it. So
What else has been new in your life?
I'm also like house hunting right now.
Mm.
It's been a it's pretty stressful process so far, I would say. I feel like it's a pretty big life commitment once you put it like, take out a loan, a mortgage loan.
Mm-hmm.
You're like locked in to pay it off for like at least or at most 30 years or however your loan term is.
So what is your um like plan for the first house? Is this gonna be like a house you're gonna live in for a long time, or is it gonna be like starter home and then you're gonna move into something bigger or better? Or are you planning on are you planning for this house to be your forever home? You know?
I think right now we want it to be our starter home with with the mind that it could possibly be a forever home,
Okay.
depending on how the because sometimes as years change, your plans can change as well. We do as of right now, we're kind of looking at houses. We kind of the more we look at houses, the more we get a feel what we want and what we don't want in a house. Whether or not the kitchen is going to be big enough, whether or not the bedrooms are going to be big enough, what are we looking for in the backyard or driveway. I mean,
What exactly are you looking for?
for my personal taste, I like a good drive, like a pretty spacious driveway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it when I have to find parking, or if I'm like encumbered by parking, like a street parking with signs that say 1 hour parking only. Like that shit is, oh, it irks my soul.
So you're talking about like Tiffany's house,
Yes,
specifically.
that yes, and
Sabrina's house.
well, I used to live in Upper Darby too, and like it was very even when I was coming home, it was very hard to find street parking because
yeah.
everyone parks on the street there. So like if you were to park on the street, you have to park like a block away to walk home. Like that's ridiculous.
Right.
So if there's like generally an area where there's a lot of street parking and a good driveway, like that's a big thing for me. But yeah, I think a driveway is a big thing for me.
Yeah. I think your house is pretty good. It has a lot of space, and you can park like right in front.
Yeah. That's why, like after like living here for a while, I was like, wow, this is nice having a parking spot.
Hmm.
Of my old house, I didn't have that. Like you have to like fucking either be there early or if you come home late, you have to park far away and then walk home, like a good distance, which was not worth it. But yeah, believe it or not, our driveway was only like one single lane. We actually expanded our driveway into two lanes, so that really helped a lot. So driveway is one thing. A basement, at least a spacious basement. It doesn't have to be finished because I can later on finish it, like get that done later. But at least a spacious basement where I can have people, come over. Another area where it's an option that people hang out at. I don't want to rely on like a small living room or dining room where it can kind of feel cramped. And this is all based on my own experiences, like from the two homes that I'm living in.
Right.
This home and my home at my old home at Upper Darby.
I think a basement has always been very nice.
Yeah.
Especially like the places that I remember hanging out and having the most fun is Phil's parents' basement and then this basement,
Pretty much, yeah. And like that's where I feel like a lot of magic happens. A basement is a good area for a lot of spacious activity,
right?
Versus like a living room and dining room, and you get little smaller spaces. So that's what I look for in a basement. Bedroom is not as important to me. Bedroom size is not as important to me, but at least a good sizable one where I can at least have if I want the option to have a king size bed, or at least a queen size bed to fit in and have room to walk around it.
Okay.
That's important. And master bath is not, I will prefer it, but it's not required. I'm willing to make the sacrifice.
Okay.
To have like, another master bath.
I have thought about it some, and I feel like the only thing that like is crucial for me. Like I don't care if the house is small. I don't like if it's just me and like if Sabrina and I buy a house together, it's just me, Sabrina, like and the dog and like what like two kids maybe. The house doesn't have to be that big. I just like the idea of having a lot of backyard space, like a huge backyard or like a lot of land,
Mm.
you know?
Like an acre of land.
Yeah, something like that. Like a modest amount of house. It is like not small, but like it doesn't have to be huge either. It's just like a normal modest house,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of land so I can do whatever I want with it.
Right, right. You have your own like garden in the back,
Yeah.
or build
Pool.
build a
Or-
fence up and let the dog run out and run freely.
Right. Or like a just like a like spike ball tournament.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's true. You host like 3 spike ball games at once in the backyard. But yeah, I mean that's like the typical things I look for in a house.
Mm.
And what is a really big bonus for me is the house has high ceilings. That's like that's like more of aesthetics.
Yeah.
Than
Even
anything.
if it like it's not that big of a space, the high ceilings makes it feel a lot more
Yeah,
spacious.
it does.
Yeah.
That's why I love high ceiling. It gives you the illusion that you have a lot of space.
It feels more modern too.
Mm. And you don't feel as cramped.
Mhm.
Like you feel like you feel like you can breathe or something. You look up, you just feel, wow, I feel like I have
Yeah.
my own space.
You know what I actually really like? I don't know if I would like if it's a deal breaker for me. Like it's not required for my house, but I really like really big windows, like floor to ceiling windows.
Mm-hmm.
Because it lets in a lot of natural light.
That does seem kind of nice. I do see the cons and the pros of that. It
Yeah.
does look super nice, but I feel like people could just break into your house much more easily.
Yeah. That's why you get like the bulletproof glass.
Oh, what? You think it'll stop them? But I feel like people, yeah, I guess bulletproof glass. Is that do those come standard for like house windows?
I'm not sure, but I think I don't know how it works. Cause can they even make bulletproof glass like that big for houses?
I don't know. I don't think so though. I feel like you just throw. I feel like those bulletproof glass, they don't like shatter. They just like come off. They just come off the freaking hinges as like one piece. They do shatter, but they stay together,
Mm.
kind of thing, and just kind of fall to the ground. Like, oh, is this an open window, like open like slotted window hole now? But I don't know. That's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong about this. But yeah, I mean, those are the things I look for in a house. And we so far have gotten to see like about 5 houses now, and one of them we actually did kind of like, but we ended up putting an offer down, but we didn't get it, unfortunately. So our house hunt continues. So that's pretty much what else is new. School, engagement, house hunting, election going on. A couple planned trips. And that we went camping that one time.
Yeah.
At the Blue Mountain, dude.
That was a lot of fun.
Right?
It was just sad that you couldn't make it the first night.
Yeah. I was kind of sad too. I was like, damn. I was like, Tiffany, send me a lot of snaps and everything because I'm not gonna be there the first night. I just want to see what's kind of going on, so I can feel like I'm being there in spirit in a way.
I love camping. I'm glad that we got into that as a hobby.
Me too.
Yeah. Because I never really knew how much I enjoyed being like with nature and like not that much technology, and you just have to like cook for yourself and fend for yourself and sleep out outside. Something about that just feels very like, I don't know, very primal, I feel very one with nature.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like everyone should give it a try. I feel like people knock it off because they knock the idea out of the park only because the idea of like the idea of maybe even getting dirty, not being able to shower, or not having all the comforts of a home. But if you ever give yourself the chance to just go outside and connect with nature and like just give just for one day, just give up all that luxury. I think you might be able to find like some kind of like peace or some kind of you'll feel a different experience that you'll know that like you're gonna be okay regardless of what, even if you didn't have those things, and you're still gonna have a good time. You know, it's a very much a different experience, but it's a very welcoming one. It's
Yeah.
not like something, you're not putting yourself in danger, but to the point that you're like, this is actually kind of cool. On the flip side of things, like maybe I don't really need all. You kind of start thinking, I don't really need a shower to get through my day. I can live without a shower for a couple of days just so I can, I don't need an electric stove or a gas stove. I can cook over a wooden bonfire pit or some shit, over the
Yeah, over
grate.
some charcoals.
Yeah, charcoal, like, and like it makes you get a sense of accomplishment and pride when you are able to find things, like when you're able to think up new ways to do something that with the stuff that you have.
Right. Cuz I don't think I used to think like I would never enjoy it. I was like, man, I'm an indoor person. I love like my own like space. I like being comfortable. But then once I actually got out there, it was like I'm actually not that uncomfortable, you
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
And it feels very good to, like you said, just work with what you have. You're like, okay, I only have like this amount of rope and this amount of like space. Like, what can I do to like set up my hammock, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Or what can I do to set up the tarp? I mean, you just have to use your own creativity and like ingenuity.
Oh my god, that was probably one of my proudest moments too. That one time I went to that one camping. Um, Basically we went camping one time. The first day it was like beautiful, sunny, but we were planning for camping for two nights. And on this going into the second day after the first night, it was pouring rain like 5 in the morning. I was like, shit, our fucking campsite is it's getting wet. I don't have a tarp up or anything. I was like, I was on my phone in the camp in the tent, looking up, looking up videos on YouTube on how to set up a rain fly tarp over a campsite. And like 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock hit, sun was rising. I just got out of the tent. I just did what I could with the rope that I had, the paracord that I had, and the terrain fly that I had. I just started setting up what I learned in that 2 hours. I just took notes and I started putting it up on myself what I learned in 2 hours, and I was able to make a makeshift like little rainfly tarp tent by myself. I was very proud of myself.
I was really proud of that dish I cooked on the cast iron over the fire.
Mm-hmm.
I think you missed it, but it was just like very rustic, very like, all right, you just have to like take out your camping knife, cut up the vegetables with your and just like cook everything over fire. And the hard part was just like making sure that everything was cooked through and like making sure everything gets heat evenly. So it was a lot of like, I had to watch it very closely. And then the whole time I was just like thinking like, oh crap, like this is not going to turn out good. It's not going to turn out good. Like I have to, and I was just like covering over it the whole time. But then when it was done, like at the end of it, I was like, I felt so relieved that it was like, it actually turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, I did it. You know, I was so like, that sense of accomplishment that like, I was like, yes, I fucking did it.
I made something
Yeah.
with my own 2 hands, And then you always remember that feeling too. You take it down to the grave with you. It's like you tell your kids, your old man, he made a dish over a wood fire today. Is that your own, is that your new cast iron pan that you got for yourself?
Yeah, I've always wanted one because I think like it can do so much and it can take so much abuse.
Right.
I just bought one off from this brand called Victoria. I think it's like an Italian brand.
Mm-hmm.
People say it's a good one, and it was only like 20 something bucks. And I was like 20 something bucks for a pan that would probably last me my whole life.
A cast iron
Yeah.
pan, dude.
and I've been cooking like a lot on it. I've been cooking. I cooked steak, chicken. I cooked fish on it,
Dang.
pork chops.
So in what ways does a cast iron pan differ from like a regular like stove pan,
So the main
saucepan?
benefit of it is that it's extremely thick and extremely heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So when it heats up, it'll retain that heat for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
So so that really works well with campfires because the campfire is so uneven that it'll, like, sometimes if you use like a regular like frying pan, some parts are going to get cooked more than others.
Mm-hmm.
But with a cast iron, it'll heat up the whole thing, and the heat will spread to the whole metal.
It'll distribute evenly.
Right. So the whole thing will be pretty evenly heated. And then once you take it off the heat, it'll stay hot, so that you don't have to like
Put it back on.
yeah.
What?
And the other good thing is that if you take really good care of it, it'll last you forever. And like you don't like people recommend that you don't wash it as that much because it'll wash off like a lot of the seasoning, which is basically just like a protective layer of oil that builds up over time. So then that oil will make it non-stick. It'll make it like flavored, so you can, like, when you put new food, it'll flavor the next food.
What? So it'll still keep the residue or the oil from the previous food and kind of latch onto the as a flavoring for like any other food that's been on top of
Right.
it for future foods.
'Cause
Okay.
I knew someone who, this I was talking to my friend and she was like, "Oh, you bought a cast iron? I have one that my grandma gave me when I was like, holy shit, that's been in your family since like for generations, literally." And they're like, "Yep." And it still works perfectly fine, and it's like,
Damn, dude. It's timeless.
mm-hmm.
A timeless cast iron, man. Cause we had one for the toast. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know. We might have taken it out. I remember when we brought it camping one time, we did use it. I think it would just get too hot. Like anything we put on it would just like fucking almost not get like almost get to the point of burning like in minutes and we didn't know how to handle it too.
Yeah.
Because this shit was so fucking like.
Yeah, I
It's
think
a
we
fucking
just
cast
didn't
iron.
know how to use it. But
Yeah.
now, like, just after like trial and error in my own house, just practicing on different foods and stuff,
Mhm.
I was able to like adjust it with a campfire, move it, turn it, see that like know when it's getting too hot or when it's like it needs more heat, you know?
Mhm.
It's awesome. I love it.
What have you made out of it so far?
I've made a lot of different kind of meats, basically, just like grilled meats. I made so the H Mart just opened up near my house,
Mhm.
so I go there, buy some marinated meat, just cook it right on the cast iron,
Oh, nice.
and then I made steaks. I made I bought like a ton of pork chops from Costco
Mhm.
because they were like $10 or something like that, real big thick ones.
10 for 10.
I know, it's crazy.
That's a fucking what? Oh, wait, like 10 pieces for
like
$10.
10 chops, like
10 chops.
big chops,
Oh my god,
and they're like an
Costco,
inch
man.
thick. So I made pork chops. I made that. It was so what I made at camping was a chicken thigh. What was it? Paprika chicken thigh with pepper rice on a cast iron. It was pretty delicious.
Damn, dude, I missed out.
I made what else did I make? Oh, I made some like shrimp and tikka masala. You know the tikka masala sauce from Costco? It comes in a jar.
Mhm.
That shit is so good. I threw some shrimp in there
Mm.
in that sauce, and I cooked it in my cast iron. It was bomb.
Shit, I actually have a jar upstairs right now too. I need to use it.
Sabrina and I cooked pizzas in it.
Over a cast iron?
Yeah.
What? Oh, you
We
put
like-
dough in there?
Yeah, we just put the dough in and like put the toppings in, threw it in the oven.
Mhm.
Turned out pretty good. And then
Dang.
we made meatballs in it. Sabrina and I made meatballs in it.
Are you cooking over the stove fire?
Cooking over the stove.
Hmm.
My mom has made she uses it sometimes. She uses it like for grilling meats or like searing off steaks and stuff.
Mhm. Dang, what an adventure
I know.
with the cast iron, man. You should name it. Hey, Casty the cast iron.
Because of quarantine, I really wanted to do more cooking, and then I think we started. Sabrina and I did start like early in quarantine to like cook stuff, but then when I'm at home, I was like, man, like all these recipes I look up always talk about like a heavy bottom pan or like in your cast iron. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it and see how it goes. I love
But
it.
you never had one in your house before.
Mm-mm.
So this is the first time. Oh, okay. Nice. And I feel like it's kind of cool because you're also enabling your mom to actually use it too.
Yeah, and then we can pass it on to my kids. This one your grandmom used, I used.
You start like etching your like initials into there on the bottom, you know. It's like carve it in there. Just let them know that where it came from, and put a year on there too, like 2020.
And I was like doing all this
AL.
research about it, and like, my friend was like, "Oh, I just got a cast iron." He was asking me all this advice about it, and I was so excited to tell him like, "Oh, do this, do this, do this," you know.
The cast iron life. Dang. I don't think I have any cast irons in my house to even start trying.
We did have a cast iron in the camping tote. I
In
think
the
it
camping
rusted, right?
Did it? I
And then
don't
we
know.
had to throw that shit out.
I remember we were trying to clean it. We were cleaning it for a while, and like
Should have just left it. Well, now we know we could have just left it.
I don't know. Like, do you leave like burnt shit on it too?
You can.
You can.
I mean, ideally you can like scrape it off, but you can just leave it.
Because we were scrubbing for a very fucking long time. It was like a lot of black stuff just kept coming out.
We should have left it. I think what happened was that it rusted.
It did?
Yeah. Because what you're supposed to do is like oil it often so that like it doesn't rust.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think we just threw it back into the tote, you know.
What kind of oil? Like cooking oil or just like...
So, you can use any kind of neutral oil, but the one that people recommend the most is flaxseed. But you can I just use like vegetable oil or corn oil at home.
You just like wiped all over or just inside the...
You can do just inside, but I do it all over just to prevent rust from anywhere.
That's interesting.
But even if it does rust, I think you can like clean it and scrape it off. That's what I've read.
Huh. Interesting. I wonder. I don't know what happened to our camping tote one. And
We can just buy a new one. It's not that expensive.
True.
Or I can just bring mine.
Yeah, that too.
Dude, after the camping though, I brought it home and I was like, I'm not gonna wash it, but I'll do it like
Like a quick rinse.
like
or
a rinse and a wipe, and I just like wiped it and it's like all this ash and sit on it. I was like,
the suit just like builds up on it.
Damn.
Especially on the bottom side, like wherever like the wood fire touches, it just catches a lot of soot.
Yeah.
Or black char or some shit on the bottom.
So I do wash it. I'll wash it with water and like I'll use the sponge, but I won't use any soap. Or if I don't want to wash it at all, I'll just use like very coarse salt, and I'll just like scrub it with salt.
Salt.
Mm-hmm.
That's a new one.
Because salt is abrasive enough that it'll get rid of the food, but not abrasive enough to fuck up the metal, right?
Right. Good to know.
Yeah, I did a lot of research about it.
Is it a whole subreddit in cast irons?
I should look up the cast iron subreddit.
Cast iron r/cast iron.
But yeah, I've been cooking a lot, and I feel like we've talked about cooking a lot, and it's just so like therapeutic.
It is, cause then, once you finally get like a recipe down, it's actually nice to have that in your arsenal.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's like, it makes me feel very creative. Like I'm like, ooh, what will taste good with this, and then I'll like
try things
yeah,
out.
I'll make like pork chops, just like plain pork chops, and I'll try like, maybe next time I'll add like soy sauce, fish sauce, lemongrass, salt, pepper, and then a little sugar, and I'm like, wow, this is delicious. And then I'll next time, pork chop, spices, different like herbs. It's just like very interesting and very like creative.
Right, you like make a combination of something, and then I would make sure. Are you writing these down?
No, I just
Damn, dude. Bro, like Tiffany just recently talking about again like a recipe book for like both of our parents, like her
Yeah.
parents and my parents,
Sabrina was talking about that too.
because it's
She's
kind of
like, I'm
cool.
gonna ask Jenny to teach me how to make bumbleway. I'm like, oh, cool, nice, make that for me.
Because I feel like my parents and Tiffany's parents, they make pretty fucking good food, and like it'd be a shame if that just like stopped where they are.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool if we can learn from them, and like you know,
How's that been going? Has she been writing stuff down?
no, well, we haven't even got anything yet. We haven't gotten the recipe book, but that's like in what Tiffany's been talking about as of recently doing.
Good idea. We should get on that. Write
Yeah.
our parents' recipes down.
Mm-hmm. And like this, we have something.
My son's birthday. He's like, here you go. It's a recipe book and a cast iron.
Learn for yourself. These are very intricate notes. Make sure you don't fail them. You follow these to the T, you'll get the best, culinary experience. But yeah. Recently I was also thinking about like have you ever thought about like how you got to where you are today? Like was there you ever ask yourself like what is your origin story kind of thing? You know? Like I think like for example, like for me, growing up, I lived in Upper Darby. My parents owned like a grocery store. And at some point, like around 8th grade, I asked my parents if I could help out at the store. And ever since then, I didn't know that decision.
Regret.
Yeah, I always have regret, but I feel like, how a lot of people perceive me to be like very social, very like outgoing kind of person.
Right.
I feel like I attribute that a lot to me working at the grocery store.
Oh, okay.
Because I picked up on a lot of like I got to know my customers pretty well. People will come in through the door. I'm like, hey, I always try out new phrases or just introducing myself and helping customers out. Like, hey, yeah, we have this here, we have this here. I kind of explain what food products and even just like learning Vietnamese in a way there too. Just because we had a lot of Vietnamese customers, I just kind of talk to them in Vietnamese. Or just kind of like they'll ask me what I have in store, or they're asking me for a specific item in Vietnamese, and I was like, oh, we have this here. I'm like, wow, your Vietnamese is so good. I'm like, what, really? I feel like I don't know shit. But yeah, but I feel like working at a store for most of my high school years, pretty much all of my high school years, if anything, 5 to 6 years, I worked at that grocery store. Picked up on a lot of how to do small conversation with customers, and I guess it really has helped me develop a kind of social skills with just other people.
Okay.
And then
So that's your origin story.
yeah, I'm a local Oriental grocery store boy. That's where I got a lot of my skills from.
Interesting. I don't know. I've never really thought about it. Well, if I think about it now, I think like I think what really shaped me was for sure like my school life, because I think I was because I went to school in Philly, like in Center City, so I was able to be in that area a lot and like see a lot of different people, experience a lot of different kind of like my school is like pretty diverse. So I was able to like take a little bit from everyone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I never really thought about it.
Was there any like pivotal moment in your life that feel like kind of helped define the way you act now, or the way you think? Like do you think a certain way because of that kind of a certain event?
I don't know. I feel like I've always thought of myself as like a culmination of like all the people I've met. Like I take a little bit from everyone. Like each person I've met, I absorb a little bit
they
of
had
them
some
from
kind
you.
of influence on
Right,
you.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I get that too, actually. I feel like a drawing, I'm very similar to the point where like the people that I hang out with, I always pick up some of their mannerisms. You know, I kind of tie it to my, I kind of work into my own personality.
Yeah.
You know, and I try to. I guess it's me trying to, in a way, adapt, or I won't say adapt, but learning from other people.
Mhm.
You know, and then figuring out what the best way to go from there. But I mean, overall, I feel like it's worked out pretty well.
Pivotal moment. Maybe like um I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to like pick one moment that defines me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Doesn't have to be a whole defining moment, but
right.
like something you like learn from.
I think my worldview is definitely shaped by the role models I've had and the people like my peers that I've been around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would say a lot of my childhood and middle school life was uh trying to emulate like people I looked up to, like Phil and um all my other friends like around that time.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to be like them. I wanted to like think like them. I wanted to act like them. But I think as I got older, it was more about like, okay, now I have to figure out who I am, you know? Who I am without those like guiding
Role models.
yeah, role models. And then like if someone were to look up to me, what kind of person would I want them to see, you know?
Mm-hmm. What kind of role model would you want to be for them?
I think now uh it was that obviously different back then than it is now, but now I feel like I want them to be like someone who's like honest with their feelings and someone who is like uh able to communicate those feelings well. And I want someone to who looks up to me to see me and be like, okay, he's able to do that. I want to be able to do that too. You
Mm.
know,
Kind of like being an inspiration for others.
right? Because I don't think I'm that good of a role model, like in terms of school or like
Mm-hmm.
work ethic, but in terms of like emotionally, I think I'm a good role model. Like maybe someone who's like gone through hell and gotten out on the other side, you know? Like wow, he's been through some like hard times and but he is able to figure it out and like talk it out and come to terms with a lot of different things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you if you look up to me as a student, you're like, "Oh, good luck."
I mean, yeah,
I
I
was
feel
so
like
fucking lazy and dumb.
I think a lot of us have that kind of that like the itis kind of feeling, you know. Like even I didn't never felt like a very motivated student. I was always like kind of leaned on my own intellectual capacity to get me through school.
Honestly, yeah. I never studied until college.
Yeah, dude.
It
High
was
school, never studied.
I like s- coasted my way through school. And then even in college, I was like doing the bare minimum. I was like,
Hmm.
fuck this.
I was just like pretty much just like relying on my own sheer like dumb luck of a talent to hope that if I just read it once, I'll hope to understand. I hope to remember what I read and just hopefully that'll get me through, yo. And like, but yeah. But besides the point, like I know what you mean. Like being a role model in that kind of sense, it's different. But it's kind of cool that like you hope to be like inspiring to as a person who's really grounded in who they are. You know who you are, and you want to be able to show other people that it's not like you may some people may have a hard time finding out who they are, but eventually they'll get there.
Hmm.
You know, and I know that it comes with age too. Like I think what was it? Maybe like most of my high school years, maybe my early high school years and late what's it called late middle school years, those were when I didn't really know who I wanted to be. I had a lot of insecure thoughts about what people thought about me, and I always let that like molded the way I acted, I guess. I was like more emo, I guess. I don't want to say emo. I was never like emotional, like, but I always gave off the vibe that I wanted to be emo. You know what I'm saying? I always have my hair into my eyes, kind of deal, like bangs and shit. You know, listen to like fucking like song like really alternative punk rock songs that like kind of go into like it's, I guess way to put it, like Linkin Park for example.
Yeah.
Like those were my one of my top bands to listen to at the time.
Me too.
And like I don't know, just kind of like a person who's kind of internally wanting attention in a way, but also caring what people think. But as I got older through experience, like I started giving a lot less. I care a lot less about that. I'm more grounded. I'm more grounded to who I want to be versus who I want people want me to. Who I want to be for people.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Once I stopped caring like what people think of me, or once I started caring less about what people thought of me,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think I would ever stop thinking that. Like, I want people to like me, of course, but I don't let it like drive my life anymore. It's like, okay, I do want people to like me, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to make you like me, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Because then you're just bending yourself to their will,
Right.
to what they will want you to be. One of the nicest things I've heard in a while was that someone told me like Tin, like the one thing I admire about you the most is that you do things that are very foolish, and you know that you look like a fool, but you don't give a shit.
You own it.
Yeah, you own it. Like you know you look like a fool right now, but you don't care, and you still stick through with it. I was like, I admire that about you. I was like, what? That was really nice to hear. Like I do dumb shit, and I know I do dumb shit, but I don't care. You know. And that's just nice to. It's kind of very affirming to hear, like that I can like be myself more.
Yeah.
You know.
We're at 140. 142. You want to wrap it up?
Sure, I'm done. Okay, so at the end of every segment, we do it. As you all know, we all do a thing called "What's Up with You," where we just discuss what's been going on, what we're interested in. That's kind of like not out of the ordinary, but more like a hobby-ish. Whatever shows we may watch, whatever hobby maybe picked it up, and yeah. Would you like to start?
Sure. Oh, I finally started watching The Haunting of Hill House after like forever.
The first season?
Yeah. It's pretty good. I don't know why I never got into it. I watched the first episode a couple times. Like, I'll watch it and be like, wow, that's really good, and then I'll like forget about it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll come back to it and like, all right, let me watch the first episode again.
Shit.
It was so far it's pretty good. I like the fact that it's like what was I trying to say? I like that it's like about this family and ghosts are just like a part of it. You know, it's not just about ghosts, you know.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Yeah? Now go upstairs.
Now like go.
Go upstairs, Nala. It's not just about ghosts.
Yeah, you know, it's mostly about this family and like the things that like their relationship and their dynamics and like their relationships.
Right.
And ghosts are just like something that cause problems. You know, it's not like it's not just about ghosts. It's about the family. You know,
And how they're reacting to the ghosts.
right? Like how they're dealing with it.
I know for this, like, I know I watched the first couple episodes and I had a fucking couple jump scares, which kind of like helped me, it kind of deterred me from watching it by myself, if anything.
Yeah.
But I do see the familial problems that they've been facing, and like whatever they went through as a child is like still like surface as adults,
Yeah.
and you can still see the problems that they're going with. Um, but other than that, I heard it was a really good series. I can't even get past episode 2 because I can't watch it by myself.
Scary.
For me, yes, I can't watch scary stuff by myself because
I kind of love scary stuff. I'll watch like horror movies all the time.
by yourself,
Yeah, I love it.
what the hell? You get thrill out of that?
I don't know. I just think like it depends. Sometimes they're really good and they're like very compelling. The story's good and like the atmosphere is really good. And sometimes they're just so bad that it's good. You know, like like horror movies fall into. I feel like there's no okay scary movies. It's really good ones and real shit ones, and I just love watching them both.
Do you?
The shit ones I like watching with friends though, because it's like we can laugh about it together. Like, what the fuck? That's so.
What makes a shit scary movie versus like a good scary movie? Is it the story or like? Do you hate it when like movies like rely on jump scares to make it scary?
It has to have a good story. That makes it a good movie. And like it doesn't have to have any scares at all. It could just be like 2 jump scares in the whole movie and I'll think it's a good horror movie because of the atmosphere, like the suspense they build, the tension, the like the world building. And it's like, wow, that's a great movie. And there were scary parts versus a movie which is just like, all right, jump scare. All right, like, you know, it's like a fucking stupid, like the once Wish Upon and Bye Bye Man.
Oh my god.
You know, those movies. You're like,
oh, that was so bad. Yeah.
You're like, you just wanted to make a scary movie and you tried to make a plot out of it, you know? Versus you have a plot and you try to make it scary.
I know what you mean. What scary movie has like really honed it in for you? Like, or like maybe I guess what I'm trying to say. What has been the best scary movie experience? They really honed in on the atmosphere part. That really got you tense throughout the whole thing.
My favorite horror movie of all time is The Ring.
The Ring,
the original one,
because like Ju-on or the American version.
The American one, because I think I've seen Ju-on, but I don't remember it. But The Ring is such a good movie because the whole movie is tense the whole time. You're just waiting for the like shit to happen, but there's only like maybe 2 times where or 3 times where you actually see like that bitch crawl out of the TV.
Yeah.
In the whole movie, or no, you only see her crawl out of the TV once, but you see her kill twice.
Right.
And that makes it incredibly like, I don't know. I love that movie because the whole time it's building this atmosphere and this like dread. It just kind of just looms over you and you're just waiting and waiting. You're like, holy shit.
When's it gonna happen?
Yeah, I'm so tense. And then at the end it happens. And you're like, what the fuck?
That's true. One of the biggest things I would say, it really like it does little small things throughout the movie to like build you up for like the big suspense, especially in the Ring.
That movie has barely any jump scares, and it's very much a slow burn. If you're like not into that, it's kind of boring. Like if you're looking for a scary movie that like really like gets you like jumping a lot, that's not the movie for you. The Ring is like. It just builds this like tense atmosphere, and then at the end, there's a payoff. There's like you see her crawl out of the fucking TV. You're like, well, there it is. I just like the idea of that movie so much. Also, like movies like The Conjuring is very good. I love that movie.
The Ring was very good. Conjuring, I don't remember too much because I remember. I'm mixing up The Conjuring with Sinister.
Oh yeah,
because I can't remember which was which right now.
There's this generic white guy.
Yeah. But I feel like for me, in the sense of the one I thought was scariest at the time when I watched it was the Blair Witch Project.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
When I watched that the first time, I was 14 years old. I remember this fucking clear as day. This shit was it's scarred me a little bit. All right, so it's the very first type. It was the very first type of movie in itself where it felt like it was really like out of a camera recorder.
Yeah,
it was like,
and they marketed it as like real.
Yeah.
They were like, we found this footage. This is real.
Yeah.
We found this shit in the woods.
Yeah, dude, that shit fucking freaked me out. I started watching that shit. I was like, oh my god, all this shit's happening. How is all this shit happening? I'm fucking freaking the fuck out. This is happening to real people right now. And I'm watching it from a cam footage right now. Oh my god. After I watched that movie that day, I could not go to sleep that night. So at my old house, how the rooms were, I have 3 brothers, okay?
Yeah.
And in this old house, we had 3 bedrooms. So imagine 4 boys, 2 parents, and only 3 bedrooms. So my parents slept in 1 bedroom, 2 brothers slept in 1 bedroom, and the other 2 brothers slept in the other bedroom. Right? I slept with 1 brother in 1 bedroom. And our sleeping arrangement was in that room was that I slept on the floor. He had his 1 mattress that was like off the ground. He slept on a mattress that was like pretty much on the ground. I could not sleep that night. I was sleeping in front of the TV. We just finished watching. I couldn't sleep on the floor, so I just jumped on the bed with him to sleep right next to him on his bed. It was a single bed mattress too. So I was that fucking scared. Yeah. I thought that shit was gonna happen to me, so I didn't want to take any chances.
I love that movie because it's the same thing. It's just like little things that like build up the atmosphere, build up the tension, and you don't see you don't know what's happening until the end, and then you see like that motherfucker standing in the corner. You're like, oh no.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck? I was like, what's he doing over there? I thought he was dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Whew.
What's up with me?
What's up with me now?
What's up with you?
What's up with me? Honestly, I feel like my list of things to watch has been dwindling down. So I'm just kind of rewatching stuff at the moment. And I'm rewatching Community at the time right now. But I feel like it's not really... We already talked about that. But I know me and Tiffany just last night, we just started up watching the 2nd season of The Mandalorian.
Oh, wait, it's out already?
Yeah, it's out.
Oh, shit, I need to watch that.
I think it released pretty recently. So, but we didn't finish the first episode. We just kind of watched halfway through. We got like sleepy and tired. So we just like went to bed and just fell asleep. And then we just didn't continue it. But so far, I do want to start getting up on that again. Mandalorian season 2 is out, guys. So
I started watching The Queen's Gambit on Netflix.
That's new. Yeah.
I keep seeing like advertisements on Netflix, and I watched like the first 2 episodes. Pretty good so far. It's about a child prodigy in chess, and then it kind of like follows her like life
story from
yeah. I think I just like the idea of like a overpowered protagonist. I just like watching OP characters just like own people. I'm like
it's like One Punch Man.
Yeah, I just love that. And she's like really good at chess. She just like fucking destroys people. And you're like, nice.
They'll like make one move. She's like,
She's like, oh,
you fucked up.
this opening, dumbass.
That's funny. Wait, like a child prodigy. So like, and the word prodigy, does that mean like a child of someone who's already good at something?
No. So prodigy is someone who is good without like having like they're just born good.
Like natural talent.
Yeah, like a 2-year-old prodigy at violin is just like playing like Paganini on the violin just from fucking birth. And then a protege is someone who you take under your wing, and then you
a protege. Oh, okay.
You like bring them up to be your successor, you know?
Right. From mentor to successor.
Right.
Fucking coming out of the fucking womb. I could do this shit already, bro.
Ling ling 40 hours. What else have I been up to? I've been like working out a lot more.
Yeah.
Just because during quarantine, it's like, what else are you gonna do? Play games, work out, watch stuff, work out, play games.
Eat, sleep, workout,
As
play
honestly,
games.
like I've just been doing pull-ups. That's all I've been doing.
Nice, dude. I noticed you were
And-
like reaching. One time you were reaching out to your laptop. I'm like, damn, his biceps looking pretty big right now.
Yo, Shijin, we hung out with Shijin recently, and he was like, "Bro, are you doing curls?" I was like, "No, thanks, bro."
I tried telling everyone though, like pull-ups are fucking like all like key, dude. I don't know how to explain it.
It's very, what's the word? Validating to feel like, wow, like I'm doing stuff and it's like paying off. People are noticing.
Mm-hmm.
Shijin was like, "I remember you at your peak skinniness, bro." I was like, it's like, stop it, Shijin. Stop, Shijin. You're giving me a boner.
you give me a what's it called? You give me a fuck, dude. I had it in my head. It just escaped me. You're giving me a compliment boner. Yeah, man. You are looking pretty big over there, homie. Keep up those pull-ups, baby.
It's just like so easy.
Yeah, once you keep doing it, I remember when Brandon started. He was like, he just couldn't even barely do one,
Yeah.
and then like a week later, he was able to do three. He was like,
Damn.
dude, I didn't know I could do this much. I was like, man, I told you, man. If you just keep at it, it's gonna take you places, man.
It's like, I just do it when. So I've been playing this board game called Wingspan, and I love it so much that I bought the digital version on Steam.
Mhm.
So I'll just play Wingspan online with like my friends, or like with they have like they'll match you up with like random people online, and I'll just play that, and then in between my turns I'll go and like do a couple pull-ups.
While you're waiting for your turn.
Yeah, while I'm waiting for them to take their turns, I'm just like, all right, I'll just do some pull-ups.
Nice.
Dude, I fucking love Wingspan.
Wingspan's a great game.
I would say, okay, so I played like, I would say like 20-ish hours in real life. I've played like 40 hours online.
Damn, is that not good? Because we were about to all buy it on Steam too. We've noticed that you've been playing Wingspan on Steam for a while too.
I have 20 something hours, almost 30 hours in that game. Dang. Because it takes all the fun of Wingspan, and you don't have to like keep track of shit. You don't have to like move your eggs around. You don't have to like draw cards manually. You just click, and you're like, cool, I'm done. What I do like about the physical version is that you get to play with your friends. You get to look them in the eye and like
look them in the eye and swear at them like you're gonna fucking lose.
Yeah,
little bitch.
like I love that aspect, like the social aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I just want to get the Wingspan aspect of it, I'll just go online and play. But then, like, so for the most part, my friends and I have always been like groups. We have like 5 friends that we play games with, or 4 friends we play games with, and a lot of times it's always like only 3. Like Apex is squads of 3,
Right.
and then like we'll have games that like not all of us have, only 3 people have at a time. It's like it never overlaps all 4. But Wingspan is a game that we all 4 have. We can finally play something together. It's fun.
Do they all have Wingspan on Steam too?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You can do remote play, like, but I think just everyone having it is much quicker, much easier.
Because I know one of the biggest cons. I was about to buy the game too. Or we were thinking about buying the game on Steam to play. It's just that like it was very hard to have your own private lobby. Apparently,
No.
like if you're gonna have 4 players, you would have to have a random player or something. Or
no, I don't think we've had that problem.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because you can just make a custom game and invite all the friends you want, and then it'll just be the 4 of you or the 5 of you or whatever.
Oh really? That's
Mhm.
it. Interesting. Oh really? Yeah, that.
I think you all have to have the game though if you want to do that.
Right. We were all thinking about just. We were all thinking about getting. Austin was thinking about getting one copy, and we're all gonna share Austin's screen to all play.
I think you can do that because remote play will allow you to do that. It just will make the game go a lot longer because you can't look at your hands and think about your turn before, like,
until
Yeah.
it's actually your turn,
Right.
because then you're watching everyone else's hand.
yeah.
But the only downside is that you also see that you'll see everyone else's hand too.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. But dude, it's only like $20. Usually I'll get it.
Yeah, that's true. That's much cheaper than the actual game itself. Because I think the game itself is like 45.
So for those of you who don't know, Wingspan is a game about building a bird sanctuary.
Mhm.
And you are trying to build the best bird sanctuary. And it's a board game where, if you're familiar with board game lingo, it's a worker placement engine building board game.
And resource management.
Yeah, it's just about building. Basically, it's just about building the best bird sanctuary.
And what's really great about what really differentiates this game from the rest of the games, like Catan or like any other basic board games, is that like this board game you actually really help each other out more so than actually like prevent each other from winning, or you do something to that would hurt another player.
Because I think the description online is that it's a solitaire game, which means that for the most part, whatever you do won't like hinder anybody else. You're playing your own game basically,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes you'll like help each other out just inadvertently, or like you will like benefit from other people inadvertently.
Mm-hmm.
But you never like. There's no sabotage. There's no like. It's not very competitive. It's
not
just
very-
everyone's doing
yeah.
their own thing, and if it's so like cozy and calm, and I love it.
Yeah, right. It's just a relaxing. How they advertise it was a relaxing strategy game, which I think is a pretty,
Yeah, I
pretty
agree.
accurate description. And you're basically just doing your own thing, and no one can stop you from doing what you want to do.
Everyone can just watch while you fucking
Yeah.
snowball into championship.
All they do is read what you're about to do and just cry from it.
What I love about the game is that it is very reminiscent of Magic. If you haven't played Magic before, it's about sometimes it's you feel very good when you start comboing into stuff. You're like, I play this, which allows me to do this and this and this.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what Wingspan is. It's just like, okay, I'll do this. Lay an egg on this bird, which lets me get 2 food, and then I'll pay 1 food to tuck 2 cards. It's like
Yeah.
it combos into each other, and it feels very satisfying when you set up your board very well.
I agree. Because then you just combo chain the whole way.
And what I love about it is that even if it's not my turn, I love seeing what other people are doing. I'm like, oh, dude, that's such a smart idea. I'm going to try that next time. You
Mhm.
just did something really cool. That makes me think like, oh, what can I do next time? That's really like, I just want to see how many points he can get.
How
you know?
creative can you make
Yeah.
your board to be?
And then how creative, and you're watching other people's cool ideas. I freaking love it.
You learn from it, dude. But yeah. Wow. How far are we in now?
2 hours.
Dang, we hit 2 hours. Nice. I feel like a lot, like maybe 10 minutes of that was probably just like pee breaks and shit. Pauses.
Probably less than that, but
Yeah.
anyways.
Even so. But wow, yeah, there we go. We did another episode of OOOH. It was episode 19?
Episode 19.
Damn, we did it, guys. Sorry for the whole wait. I know you guys were probably waiting for us, and I hope I don't doubt you guys probably have your own doubts that we will probably release another episode. You know,
Like,
but
are they done?
yeah, like what happened? Like what happened to Alan and Tin? How come they not releasing any more episodes? I guess they gave up on it.
So our idea was that we wanted to make a show that was every 2 weeks, but we never wanted it to feel like a chore or feel like rushed to do it. And we were just gonna release when we release,
on our own time.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to give you guys like content where it was like lackluster to the point like maybe within the 2 weeks if we feel like then nothing really happened or there's nothing really to talk about, it would lack in like
Yeah.
entertaining.
And if you had to
value.
like rush content out, I feel like it wouldn't be as good.
It would be very dry.
And we'd be like, "Yeah, blah 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 blah. Okay, see you in 2 weeks. You know.
Yeah. But we get you guys a 2 hour special this time, so enjoy it while it lasts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, boy. All right. But yeah, we're gonna tie it up now. Thank you for listening. If you made it all the way through, this was long overdue. 1 year, OOOH Cast. Thank you for sticking with us throughout the
Yeah.
whole time, our loyal fans and friends. And stay tuned for our next episode. And that'll be it. OOOH Cast out.
Bye.
Bye.